What's going on, traders? Are you guys ready to get back into the trading action? I'm ready. Guess what, team? Yesterday, I got my bowl of cereal, was able to work back into the green thanks to the General Mills trade. You guys saw that. Wasn't the Frosted Flakes, but I sure felt like I got my frosted on. So we'll see what happens today. Am I able to get another bowl of cereal in this market? Or will we be giving one back? I'll tell you right now, I'm going to be looking for a little bit of a shakeup today. Find out right here on live trading and smash the like, team. This is where you want to be. Nice supporting community. You can't find it out there. Let's get into the action.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, how we doing out there? Hello to Kenneth, Talib, Old School, Jones, Alicia, Richard, Becca, Gary J, Joyce, Quantum, Hugo, The Crow, Preston, Shay. Oh my God, I'm already losing my voice here. Let me bring on Ryan. What's going on, man? How we doing out there? Jay, Crow, everybody.
We're doing good.
Let's get it going, team. It's good to see you guys. And I love how you guys say hello to each other in the chat. That's what it's all about, right? We're here to be friends with each other, support each other. And like always, you never know what each other are going through. Believe it or not, you can really, truly be helping others get focused, get on their trading game. And that's what it's all about, right? Like at the end of the day, there's moments where I even myself will be like, yo, what's going on, Ryan? How you doing, man? Doing good?
I'm doing good.
I'm doing great, my friend. That's what matters. That's what matters.
I guess I shouldn't be saying good morning. I should be saying great morning. Is that what you're getting at?
Great morning. It is a great morning indeed, because at the end of the day, we get a chance to play this every single day and keep working on our skills to get better, right? I think one of the things that a lot of traders forget about is that, you can't be trying to keep like all the days and just mix them together. It's a new day. Let's focus on the opportunities at hand and focus on what we're trying to do best, right? Which is a processed approach so that we can come in and repeat that process. Let's get to the action. Let's take a look at the stocks today. We'll see what's going on. I am watching the SPY find a little bit of a bottom around the 400 level. I don't know why I put Ryan's screen up, but it looks like I just wanted to look at Benzinga Pro today.
Oh, I know why. Right? It's because you weren't sharing.
Don't tell the crew. Don't tell the crew.
Don't be trying to weasel out of that one. I'm on to your games, my man.
All right. We'll see what happens in the SPY. We did get that fourth attempt to break out. That didn't work out here when we went there towards 414.16. So when we came back to support, we broke that. And that was around the 406, 410 levels, really where we really started letting go. So now we got to look to see if we can make our move back towards 408 and 405s. But those are going to be resistance. But I do think that we could have at least a little bounce today. We are down towards 399. Of course, eventually I think we do get down here towards this channel line, 390s. But I do think that it's not going to just be a clear cut, just disaster down to that line. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think we might get a little bit of a bounce. But of course, we're going to pay attention towards the open to let us know. How we're going to do that? Let's start setting levels to look at both directions, right? Situation awareness and which way are we going to take it? Well, let's take a look here. Above kind of the 401.33s, I'm going to put it even a little bit higher because I do think that we can pop up above towards the 405. We got a 403 level where we can close back towards that 405, but that's going to be like kind of the resistance where I could see things turning around. I'm going to have to use an earlier level to look for a little bit of a pop back up around 401.31s. And for flush down, we want to use the prior day's low here. Prior day low, 398.82. We'll look to see if we cut through that 398 level. We did get some pre-market action that's below that. So you want to put it towards that 398 level and see if we can cut below that. That's going to be the downside action worry. And let me just pull this up here so that I can put it to that. All right, that's going to be right here around that 398 level. We'll look to see if we cut down through 398s or above 401.30s today. Stocks that we can be looking at. Of course, Intel did give us some news. That's getting hit hard on that. I think AMD could actually lift back on this. Kathy did go buying in AMD. So just to mention, 72,848 shares she purchased yesterday. So maybe look to see if we get a bounce in like a stock like AMD and NVIDIA, right? These stocks have been coming down fast. Will they keep just coming down in a straight manner? That's what we have to be questioning today. We'll find out. We'll be looking for a little bit of bounce maybe in these names. I do, of course, have some swing trades on. We can talk about those probably towards the open. I'm not going to be doing too much on those, just trying to let them work. I have stocks like Canara Brand. We're going to look to see if this can get back above 36.75. ITW, still have this one. We'll look to see if this one can recover towards the open, working its way back to 240s. And Johnson & Johnson, we're still in that one. We'll look to see if it holds today towards the 157 90s. Don't really want to see it break down towards 157 because that could be the flush out. And I did get on our swing trading show, Start Swing Trading. If you guys aren't watching it, we took this one live, Slumberjay, yesterday, and that was at 53.69. We'll look today if I can get it down there towards 53s, maybe add on this. Looking for it to come back towards 55. We'll find out what happens. Like always, smash the like button. Let's keep going, team. You guys keep throwing up tickers in your chat that you guys want to talk about after we get through ours. Ryan, you're up, my friend.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Love, I just want to echo a lot of the comments that you said about our community and them welcoming each other and welcoming us. It's really great. It's really just a great way to start the day. I think I'm a firm believer that if you start your day with positivity, you should be more inclined to carry that through the day. So really appreciate what our chat does here. Special shout out to two members here. Gary getting on the special K with strawberries train and even adding a banana in there. That sounds like a complete delicious, healthy breakfast. You love to see it. And then also Becca taking the comment one step further. Don't have a good day. Have a great day. I'm not sure about the good guy citation. I don't know what that is. However, love the actual message. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to have a great day. Teamwork makes the dream work. Joyce, awesome stuff. We got a whole bunch of positivity in the chat here today. Judge, Mingo, Jerry, Jim, Lensley, Quantum. I mean, you already named a whole bunch of them. Sorry if I didn't mention your name. Everyone here is awesome. Let's go diving into some of the stocks. So the first thing here, we're going to take a look at the SPY. We've been doing this every day. And I think that this is just something that we do in the happy hour that we're going to adopt here in the live trading show because everyone wants to know where the SPY is going. We're all watching it for various reasons. One of the things that you'll see here is that we've got 3 resistance levels right below where we're at. So a nasty day yesterday. We really fell out of this resistance areas or this support area. So now this will act as resistance on the way back up. I'm confident in that. Looking below here, we actually have 4 points of potential bounce. First one here is going to be the light blue line, which is the 50-day moving average. I've got that at 396.75. We're currently at 399. So it's about 3 points away from where we're at. Right below that is this 395.16 horizontal line. You can just call that 395 and round it. That's actually one of the areas that we've discerned based on the trading action. So that one is here. That's about 4 points away. And then below that, we have the 200-day at 393.16. So these 3 points are pretty good. Now, if we continue to break down here, one of the other things that I expect, first of all, we're going to get this 100-day moving average, which is this yellow line, to continue to curl back up. The more we sell off, the slower it curls back up. And I think we actually might converge here at the top of this channel. So this light blue channel is basically the channel that we drew for all of last year. Now we've broken out of that channel here in January of this year, which is good to see. Let's see if we dive right back into that channel or if the top of this channel provides a spot for us to bounce. We won't know unless we trade down, so we'll see if we end up doing that. Now, I did catch Bullard was making comments here this morning saying that it looks like the U.S. economy is more resilient than the market thought. Maybe the market hasn't priced in all of the strength. China's opening up. Europe's not in as bad a shape. So jawboning the market here a little bit higher, trying to highlight some of the positive things. So we'll see. We'll see if the market ends up buying that. One thing that was mentioned by one of our happy hour members yesterday that I thought was really, really good is you take a look at whenever we had one of these red candles, the next day we actually opened lower, but traded back up. Right? Same here with this one. We opened lower. This one was down just a little bit, but still hung in there. Same with this one. So we'll see what ends up happening today. I know we're up a little bit here today. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually challenge some of those lows and maybe we get a bounce in the afternoon. We'll see. That's yet to be seen. So that's where we're at on SPY, looking for some more downside moves, but we have several potential reversal points. Now, the other thing that I really quickly wanted to cover was ADI, because this was a potential swing trade that we have been outlining for a long time. And we've been going off of the floating island formation. Yesterday, one of the things that I told you early in the morning is that we really want to monitor this throughout the course of the day. See if we get a good price, see what happens to it, because it's possible that it doesn't hold. Well, look what happened. It did not hold, right? The selling really accelerated as we broke down from this 191 spot. So with this, we've almost closed the gap completely. So right now, no trade on for this. It did not give me the hold. Remember, with the floating island, you want to see the stock price come back in. But the other key is that it holds that price. It doesn't continue to sell off. And by waiting till later in the day, we didn't have to buy contracts or the stock early in the day only to watch that sell off more and more and more over the course of the day. Much easier to deal with this. Now, if we get down to 183 here, maybe we bounce off of this. We'll see. I'm going to keep watching ADI, but unfortunately, the floating island resolution to the upside, that's now broken. If this bounces and gets back into this area, that's an entirely new trade. What we wanted to see from this one was a trade down to the bottom of the channel, maybe a little bit below, a hold and a bounce. We didn't get it. So it's over. We'll still watch it and see if it gives us another opportunity, but the floating island trade here is over. It did not work. This is actually the minority. So I'm hoping now that when we find another one of these, we're going to be due. Let's go ahead and dive into the movers list and see what is on the docket here for today. First things first, I'm going to start with SRNE. This is one of our penny plays that we've been talking about the past couple of days. So we got a run yesterday right out of the morning, and then it kind of just flagged for the rest of the day. Today in the pre-market shot up as high as 60 cents and come all the way back down. Now we're still higher than where we were yesterday. VWAP right here at about 50 cents. So I would say that if I had to make a prediction on this, and again, I have no position here. I'm not trading this. So this is just my gut feeling here. I would imagine that we probably trade up out of the gate here. Kind of similar to what we did yesterday. We'll see if we end up getting that. I wouldn't be shocked. And honestly, I expect this to find some resistance here at the 50-cent line. Maybe it keeps going. Your guess is as good as mine. But I think that the first move here is going to be up. If the first move is down and we hold 40, that's pretty good too, right? We might be able to reverse and then trade back up to that VWAP. So let's see what SRNE does. I know I generally don't cover pennies, but our chat has been doing such a great job with this. We'll go ahead and take a look at that. Or we'll go ahead and watch that here today. Okay, going to the movers list, we've got LLAP here. This is Terran Orbital Corporation common stock. Terran Orbital shares are trading higher after the company announced it has been awarded a $2.4 billion contract to design, build, and deploy 300 satellites for Rivada Space Networks. So let's dive into this contract and make sure that they're actually being awarded the full $2.4 billion. Let's make sure there aren't also other stocks that could be awarded this. Sometimes when we get these headlines, it can be a little shaky. So we'll go ahead and dive into that. As soon as Mitch takes over here, I'll start reading through it and see if there's anything that I can find. I'll also ask one of my news. I'll ask Zoli and see if we can get anything from that. Now, as far as the trading action goes, win as high as 377. We've pulled all the way back down. We're actually beneath this 3 line, but we're doing a fairly decent job holding the bottom of this right here at about 292. We did go a little bit lower, win as low as 288 earlier, and we bounced. So let's see if we hold in there. VWAP we've got right here at 316.5. So looking at a good 20 cents from where we're at. So if this also trades up out of the open to the VWAP, might get a nice little scalp opportunity there. Just be careful because again, that's not a normal setup that we try to take advantage of. We'll just see if we can get some quick cash out of the gate. Next here is going to be JFBR. This is Jeff's Brands. So this stock also traded as high as 145 and then came all the way back down to 1. Catalyst here is Jeff Brand shares are trading higher. The company announced it entered into a non-binding letter of intent to order in order to establish a collaboration with Superbuzz for Chat GPT and AI-based software for Amazon advertisement platform. Okay, that is a mouthful, and it's using a whole bunch of buzzwords like AI and Chat GPT, which we've already discovered is kind of the theme that's going on now. I've never heard of Jeff's brands. Maybe this is pretty good, but the skeptic in me says that this is probably just a throwaway PR to try and get the stock to move. A couple of things there. One, might give us some opportunities to day trade here, but two, if it does go nuts and trades higher and closes higher, watch out for that offering because we've seen that before too. So just be careful with this. We'll see if we end up getting an opportunity here. 122 looks to be the spot. That is the VWAP as well as a form of resistance area. We'll see if we end up taking that out here. Next is going to be IQ. We've traded this one a whole bunch. This is a Chinese name. This has been on the relative volume scanner a number of times. This has moved with the Chinese stacks before. We're having another morning here today. IQ shares are trading higher if the company reported better than expected Q4 adjusted EPS and sales results. You tell me if you trust those numbers. I'm not too sure. The one thing I am seeing here is we definitely have a channel between 780 and 8. So an 8 bust to the upside would be encouraging for a potential trade. So too would a curl around 780. And actually, I wouldn't be surprised if this actually overshot 780 and kind of curled around its VWAP. We'll see if we end up getting that here today, but that is a potential play as well. Now, Boyle and UNG are both on this list. Those are, of course, nat gas ETFs. Nat gas broke beneath 2 yesterday. The price of the actual futures contract broke beneath 2. I think it printed a low of 196.7 or something of that nature, and bounced. And we're still bouncing. And really the question here is, do we continue to bounce? I can't predict nat gas. If you guys feel confident predicting nat gas, more power to you. Every time I think that it's going to keep going, it seems to do the opposite. And so as a result, I don't trade that. Boyle and UNG are going to be the two to trade here. Remember that Boyle is, let me minimize my notifications here. Remember that Boyle is levered, right? So you're going to get these really dramatic moves in this big travel here, but this will continue to decay. Eventually, when these get low enough, they reverse split them too. So keep that in mind. UNG chart looks similar, just not as much movement. Price is a little bit higher. This is not levered 3X. This is just the 1X product. So keep those in mind if you're going to trade nat gas here today. My recommendation, if you're going to trade these vehicles, is to keep these limited to a day trade. Unless you really have some type of feeling, good risk management in place, maybe you're working off some profits, and you're going to swing it overnight. For me, just a little too rich for my blood. If I get gains here, I wouldn't be afraid to take them. That's basically what I'm saying. AMC making another move here today. We talked about this yesterday. Went up to a high of about 620. Tried to challenge that high towards the end of the day. Didn't break it till this morning. Looks like we're in the 632 to 650 range. AMC, I'll pass on this, but this might give trading opportunities for all you gunslingers out there. We'll see if we bust that 650 to the upside. BBBY on this list, but really not doing a whole lot. I would avoid that if I were you. And that's about it. We have 2 minutes to go. Mitch, do you have anything else that you want to cover or any stocks here from the chat that you want to cover? The Crow saying TRKA is a good penny and Wall Street Bets is pumping it. Okay, so that context actually quite important. Generally speaking, we don't participate in some of these stocks that are being, run by chat rooms or Reddit forums or whatever, but it's good to know what's going on behind the scenes.
I need to get back to, one thing, the Crow has gotten me to the point where I've always talked about trying to attack these more and more on the hourly and with smaller share size. I might actually start trying to do that more often, team. So stick around. I know that you guys like to play those kind of smaller names, so keep calling them out there, team. I'm not going to be playing all of them, of course. I just can't do that because I like to stay towards more of my high quality names. But that doesn't mean that we can't play these with very small share size. What do I think about small share size? Well, a lot of times when these kind of have big moves, what do they usually do? Sometimes have like $2, $3 run on like a $4 stock, right? Well, that's a big move. That's about 50%. I don't need to be going for like a big win there if it's at 50%, right? If I'm making $2 on the name, well, then I can go for smaller share size. So I'm going to be going with smaller share size at these with looking for that big win, right? It'll be more for like a nice, I'm thinking we'll look at it more like a 5-1 or a 6-1. So what is that going to mean to me? And I'll probably only have to be probably about 30% accurate on these to be in the green. Let's go to the SPY right now really quickly, right out the gates. I just want to pay attention to that. One stock that I am going to be looking for continued downside action for in the long run is Best Buy. I think this one could really crack down here, team, today. Right before the open, it was already giving a little bit of a bounce, starting to cut through the 83s here. But I think we could have first down action about the first 15 minutes and then get a little bit of a pop. I'm going to pay attention to the SPY. Let's see if we get back above 400 or do we get a down action out the gate here. Best Buy is one of those that I'm looking for a short, but of course it's going to be depending on the market today. ITW, a little bit of recovery here. I kind of like that it's already starting to get a little bit of recovery. Want to see if that can get back up above the 234s, back to 235s and start working its way to 240 today. SLB, that's one that I need to pay attention to, trying to add here towards 53s. We just went down towards that, but let's see if it starts holding this as support, coming back above the VWAP. 53.40s is what we want to see it push through. All right, I like that bottoming around 53s. Going to give it one more chance to get through that 53 on the downside, and then you're going to start adding to this name. The open, or open stock? We'll see. HOTH. Ha. Yeah, that's a nice little break push. All right, so hourly or 5-minute chart had pullbacks to 311. Let's go to the 3-minute here. Let's see if we get a pullback towards 305 between 311. I like that level for Hoth. It's the biotech stock. Just got a little bit of a lift. All right. SLB starting to hold here. Rejected that next.
Sorry to leave you hanging, Mitch.
Now back towards 53.30s. Going to look to add at the VWAP 53.15. I'll look to add there. I'll let you guys know if I do get an ad.
I see Hoth being mentioned. Always a good time for Star Wars mention there. Set a course for the Hoth system. Well, I've actually seen this stock day traded a whole lot. This stock goes back a number of years here. One of the things we're doing right now in Hoth, trying to pop to that pre-market high. I've got the high of that body candle at 329, high of the wick at 338. I did have a question that I wanted to answer earlier. Let me see if I can find it. K-Chat asking, Ryan, what's levered mean? So some of these ETFs are actually levered, meaning they give you more leverage. So hopefully they're going to move more than some of the counterparts. So the reason the example that I was using there was UNG. If you pull up UNG in your broker or in Benzinga Pro here, you'll see the United States Natural Gas Fund. There's no leverage here. It is 1x, meaning it follows the commodity in a 1-to-1 ratio. Boyle, however, is different. This one is a 3x levered product, and unfortunately, it doesn't say it in the name here, but ProShares Ultra, anytime you want to know if one of your products is levered, one of the ETFs is levered, you can actually go to the page. In this case, I'd go to the ProShares page and look up Boyle. It'll tell you it is a 3x levered product. Some other ones like that are going to be the SQQQ and the TQQQ versus the QQQ. The QQQ is an unlevered product. It's 1x, follows the SPY, whereas the TQQQ and the SQQQ are both levered. So keep that in mind. If you want to learn more about those, I encourage you to do so. I would start with Investopedia. That was a great spot for me to start with as well.
Starter here long on AMD. I got 76.94s there, starting to get back there towards 77. I got it on that pullback. I was looking for a 77 pullback there. As soon as it pulled back, I saw the offer just drop down, bop, hit in on the ass +3, got it there at 76.94s. Let's go. Let's see if we can get this back through 77.25. Also was looking at Soxel. SLB, I did put some orders to add, but that's already pushing, so we're looking good there. Looking at Canara Brand and ITW, those aren't doing too bad for the day. They're still into the green. All the swing trades into the green right now. Just going to focus on this as more of a day trade. AMD, let's see if we can get back above 77.25.
Pan W, this is one of your best in breed for cybersecurity names. They reported earnings last night and issued strong guidance. So we actually saw them trade up last night and then again here today. One thing to keep in mind with this is actually a great candidate for a gap and go. You haven't heard me talk a lot about gap and go trades recently because all of last year the market was in a downtrend and we didn't get many gap and go opportunities, and a lot of them were actually gap and crap instead of gap and go. Pan W, however, this one completely bucking that. So what do I mean by gap and go? Well, first of all, you have some catalyst that's causing the stock to gap up today, right? We've got quality earnings and raised guidance that caused the stock to trade up yesterday. We're also strong in the pre-market today. And look what happens. As soon as the market opened, the stock is running away. Now, the reason the gap and go is such an effective trading strategy is because it's easy to do. All I have to do here is use the 9 EMA. I will watch the 9 EMA on both the 1 minute and the 5 minute to kind of get an idea of what's going on here. As long as the stock price stays above this 9 EMA, I can stay in the trade. So what we did here is did a cross through 183. And really quickly, I am not long this. I'm trying to break down a potential trade based on a strategy. I did not get this here this morning.
Just to describe though, I am getting long CrowdStrike, which is a similar name.
Okay, I'm gonna finish this up because that's a great segue, Mitch. Let me just really quickly. So as we cross through the 9 EMA, let's call it 183 here. What we're gonna do is we're actually gonna stay in this trade until we cross back through that 9 EMA. Now, right now we're up here at 187. If we end up coming back in towards this 9 EMA, you can close this out. If you get a profit target that you have ahead of this trade, don't be afraid to close it or some of the position out. This looking like a gap and go. We'll see where this actually ends and then go from there. Mitch, break down your CrowdStrike trade because that to me sounds like a sympathy play based off a strong catalyst here.
Got you. Just give me 1 second as I have so many positions open. I got to pay attention here, but I got you guys. I'll come back towards it right now. SLB taking off there. That looking great. Let's go towards the next stock here, CrowdStrike. And so I was already looking at this one yesterday. I put it up on my Twitter so you guys can kind of keep up with that if you guys want to see some kind of action. Yesterday when Pan W put out those earnings, I was looking for pullback fills now. I got one of that pullback fill right now. I'm at 114.66. Looking for 38s to add here, 114.38s. And then I'm going to look for a push back towards 115.50s. Nice hourly level of holding around 114. We could wick there too. Next layer of support is 113.78, around that 75. I'm going to try to risk towards. We'll look to see if we get back up towards 116 on the day. This is CrowdStrike. All right.
K-Chat, I did explain what a levered product was real quickly. I just posted this link in the chat. Please read this. This top section will explain it all. And on top of this, it'll actually give you a list of some of those levered ETFs that you can look into. I would say start there. Let me go back to the platform here. Pan W. Okay, so notice right now, first of all, we came back to this 9 EMA. We actually broke beneath it a little bit here. It's trying to hold in there. Sometimes you'll actually see it bounce off this 9 EMA too. So a lot of this is going to be, what is your risk profile like? What kind of profit are you looking for? How do you feel about it? This to me, we're having a battle here at the 9 EMA. Let's see if we actually break beneath it or keep going.
SPY hasn't really done much anything out the gates here, but it's still holding 15-minute support right now around the 399.50s. Going to look to see if we do a 450 push here. Gush pushing higher, so some oil names probably getting a nice little lift. Still in this AMD, looking for a nice drive through 77.50s. Resistance is right around there. Then we'll look to see if we can continue through that resistance. CrowdStrike back towards 114.50s. Got an average at 114.56. Just to kind of mention on that one. And it bounced right off that 113.78 line, team, to the dot. That's how sometimes support can act as like that spot, right? It went right towards 113.78. Look to see if we get towards 115 now on this bounce. Wanted to reclaim VWAP and start to hold VWAP there. on CrowdStrike. We'll see what happens. There's AMD, nice little push up here, 77.60s. We got this one from 76.94s. Going to look to sell some as we continue to push. I probably would have sold some there at the 68. So let's see if we can get back through there into the 70s. Going to sell a little bit of a portion of this AMD trade and then look for the rest to continue working. There's 61s for a second there. Let's see if we can pop through that, get into the 70s. SPY starting to make that move up towards the 400s. That's actually helping. There's 64s for a second. 67, 68. Slowing up right here. Looking for that next expansion move, but it's not giving it to us. All right, just keeping a close eye on multiple trades here. So CrowdStrike is pulling back a little bit there. Want to see CrowdStrike try to get back above that 114.50s. 113.75s is the area where I would get out.
Pan W real quick here, tried to bounce off that 9 EMA, immediately came back in and broke beneath it. This for me would signal a closing trade. So if we take a look at this, you've got what, 182.86, let's call it 183 versus 185.50 as your potential close here. When you see this bounce off the EMA and then an immediate retracement back down to it, that's a pretty safe signal. You can close the trade out there. Even if it was, you know, up here at 186, you might front run that as it's coming back down. It could still bounce here today, could still give you another trade, but the 9 EMA trade, we closed it here.
All right, AMD trying to hold 77.50s on the pullback. We just got that now towards 76. It just hit 77.70. Let's see if we push through there. SPY coming up here. That's making me feel a little bit more confident about this AMD. So holding it as of right now.
EVgo, this moving away here as well. This actually, again,
there we go. Nice little
following
push.
That 9 EMA. Here, Mitch,
Took
sorry.
Some profit there. You're good, man. I just took some profit there. I took it at 69 there for AMD. Just taking some profit on AMD from 76.94s there, about 75-cent profit there. And just look at what the risk was. Look how I have that line, 76.74. What was that? Less than 20-cent risk for a 75-cent gain, right? What is that? 3-to-1 team. I talk about 3-to-1s, 4-to-1. You know what I do? I get really happy when I do those nice trades. I'm like, pat on the back, 3-to-1 outlook. That's how we do it, Mitch. Let's keep going. Looks like ECX for a halt. If you want to take a look at that one, Ryan, that's a nice little move.
This is, in fact, on the halts list here. Looks like kind of low volume, right? What do we have in this 1 minute stick that halted us here? 5,000 shares. Good luck if this is what you want to trade. Not nearly enough volume here on ECX. Halted here. This looks like a low volume. What does this normally trade? This normally trades 22,000 shares. So let's figure this out. We've got a $4 stock. Okay, what was it? $4 prior yesterday's close, previous close, $3.40. All right, so we'll split the difference. Call it a $4 stock. Trades on average 22,560 shares. This trades less than $100,000 total per day on average. So just to kind of give you the reason I'm breaking that down is because someone with, you know, not even that, with a $100,000 account can end up moving this stock. On average, it trades $90,000 worth of stock every day. Extremely, extremely low volume. Don't see a trade here. You guys talking about AI moves. So let's check in on C3 AI. This seems to be one of our best in breed. This too following the 9 EMA. Interesting. We are getting a lot of these gap and goes here on some of these stronger stocks. Might have to look into this. This right here, though, nasty, right? Because what's happening here is if you're actually going to trade this 9 EMA, you could very, very easily get stopped out on this pull, only to have it come right back up and then resume the pattern. So these are some of the pitfalls of the 9 EMA. When I say a strategy is easy, it's all relative. Nothing in this game is easy. When you're risking your money, it's not an easy thing, and even experienced traders have to fight that. However, in this case, we're actually looking for a rising price and one indicator. That's basically all we're making decisions off of. Here's one of the pitfalls of it. You get a nifty little pull, and then a buyer step in here. You get a candle that looks just like this.
All right, trying to add on Canara brands on pullbacks. I'll let you know if I do get an add on that. CrowdStrike pulled back and now looking to try to reclaim back towards the VWAP. We'll look to see if that can keep going. AMD holding the 7750. So from my outlook at the open, been able to nail on some trades here, and I'm trying my best to try to get more and more where the plans are the trades, right? We'll see what happens. Got to be really focused at the open like always.
WINT, Windtree Therapeutics. That's another penny stock running away from its VWAP here, having a nice day. Hoth actually staying above that pre-market high. Oh, okay, we just broke beneath it. So Hoth trying to make a move here. Let's see if it can actually pop above this 340 area. Let me see what the level 2 looks like. There's a big seller there at 340 that they took some of. See if they take the seller out at 340. Looks like they're refreshed. Nope, they took it down. A lot of volume traded there at that 340 level. See if they actually break and continue to move. Love this comment here by Sally, by the way.
All right, next stop here for AMD is going to be up towards 78.50s. We're hitting the 78. As we get towards like 78 30s, I'm going to look to take the profit off and run towards the profit. This market has not been the one that just continues the trend for me. So I'm looking to just bang out of this trade, take the money and run. Let's see if we get to the 78 30s there.
Hoth trying, battling around this 340. Looks like it wants to go.
All right, CrowdStrike back above VWAP. Now I'm looking forward to take through 115 and continue through 115.50. Like always, you guys out there make your own decisions. That's what we're working here, our own decisive skills. How do you attack the market? Keep working on that, team.
And by the way, speaking of your own decisive skills here, AutoKen, round of applause. I closed my trade on PanW at 187.20. Still could touch 188.5 more. So basically what you're saying is it can break above this 188. Absolutely. We'll see what kind of strength it has. Would love to know what your actual entry was there. 187. You closed that right here. You kind of held through that. Awesome stuff. Thanks for the help. You need to thank yourself. You were the one putting your money at risk and executing that plan. Great job here this morning, Ken. Absolutely love to see it. We love to see it.
Trying to add to SLB on this pullback at VWAP, looking for a slight cut through 53.40 to add at 53.30s. We'll see what happens there. That's SLB. That's my top left chart here, right off the VWAP. As you guys can see, I've been trying to trade more and more. And the key is that I've been doing things that can help me, right? Share size down so that I don't have to stress too much if something's going fast. Tesla breaking 200s again. Let's take a look at that Tesla Dragon today. There you go. Upside move through 200. That doesn't look too bad. I'd look for pullbacks now towards the VWAP or slightly below 198.35. Maybe you get a 198 little pullback really quickly, but we'll find out. It's looking good right now, especially on that last little push through the 200. Could come back to VWAP 198.51, maybe towards that level. We'd look for some pullback buys on the Tesla Dragon. AMD, I'm looking still for a little bit of a push above the 78. We've gotten the 78.13s. Just need a little bit more to run towards the profit there in AMD. Canara brands back to the upside, looking to add on VWAP on that. Still haven't gotten an ad. Didn't get the Eat Slumber J ad. It's back towards 53.60s, but remember my average is 69. So I took a very small starter yesterday, looking to add on this position as more of a swing. SPY went to 441. I talked about it earlier, about 10 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago, about a move towards 450. Now that's resistance there. Let's see if we go towards 401 on the next drive. Pan W. I'll go to Pan W. I got you guys. I can do that. I'm watching crowd, so I have no problem talking about Pan W. Let's go to that chart. I'm going to put it big for you guys right in the middle here. I know Ryan was giving levels earlier, and that doesn't seem bad, right? I mean, like always, you guys choose your own levels, right? I think that's the important thing. So I'd be looking for pullbacks right now towards 184 to get in on Pan W. Why? Because I always look for these deeper time frame pullbacks, especially opportunities that could maybe go through the VWAP here. We already touched VWAP, so maybe you get a slight tick below and then a recovery. But if it keeps going for the bulls that are already in, I would look for a move back above this high here where you stopped 188. Needs to hold and close above that on, let's say, a 5-minute candle. If you do get that, closing above 188, you'll look to see 189, and it can get to 190. Pre-market earlier move went to directly 190. Let's see if we get back up there. AMD turned around from that 78 breakout. It's going to maybe do a little bit of a VWAP test. It held 77.50s earlier as support. We'll look to see if the VWAP holds 77.37. Of course, on AMD, I'm break even on the rest and can just let the trade work. That's why I like taking first profits. It definitely helps me stay into the focus. ITW is still working in my favor, just taking a look through my swing trades and focusing on what's out there. INBT mentioned in the chat there, $66. This is a real estate stock, but it's already gapped up. I don't know why it gapped up, so I'm going to leave it alone, but maybe you can bring us a little bit more news, Quantum. Doesn't look too bad. LEU, Sabrina, there you go. Not a bad one there. Metals, minerals. Looks like it just got a nice little spike there from around 45 up there past 48. That's a nice 5% move. Holding the VWAP. Look to see if it gets to 49 today. Way to kill it, Sabrina. Lucid earnings tonight. Can Lucid get a little run into the earnings? We'll see what happens there. NVIDIA has earnings tonight. That could get a nice little push. That's why a little part of me is in AMD. Look to see if it holds the VWAP. It just did on the pullback. 32s, VWAP 38s. Trying to recover above 77.50s now. We want to see 5-minute candles closing above that 77.50 to see the trend in AMD continue. We'll find out. All right, let's go, team. Let's go. The battle's on. The battle's on. Let me go back to CrowdStrike. We're starting to hold VWAP on CrowdStrike. So looking for that move up towards 116. That's where I'd sell some profit and then look for it to continue going on CrowdStrike. Pullbacks to 114.50s is where I'd be looking for it to hold right now. And of course, you want to see Pan W. Maybe do a little pullback, but expand above towards the 190 spot. Pan W trying to make that move.
Hoth, continuing here. So sorry, I had to tend to something here at work. We had someone that called off here today. So 340, that's the spot that we were talking about, really kind of broke above that. Went as high as what, 362, your high print. Actually looks like that high is going to be challenged here again today, or again right here. So it looks like it's going to try to take that. Hoth, this has been a great trade. Set a course for the Hoth system, folks. This one has been one of our better smaller cap names here today. Look for that three. There it goes. Some size at 365 there. That they backed it off that spot, but let's see if they go hit 365 again. You might get a pop above that here. If you're in profit at this point, manage your risk. No entries up here, but looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Also looking pretty good off that 9 EMA. Man, 9 EMA working here today.
All right, not doing too bad today. Let's go.
Nope. Lucid earnings tonight. I know you briefly mentioned that. I'll be interested to see how those Lucid earnings are. That stock has not been great, but man, oh man, do I like that car. That is my favorite of the EVs. By the way, saw the Polestar in person for the first time when I went to Arizona. That's a pretty sweet looking car in person, I'll be honest. And the up model, it's like 71 grand for pretty quick looking car. It's a pretty sweet. Definitely want to drive it at some point, but was impressed.
All right, getting a pullback fill there for SLB right around the 55.30s. So we're going to look to see if I can add one more time down here towards 53.10s. And then I want to hold slightly off 53. So slightly below that. We want to see 53s break today. Looking to add one more time in the slum burger.
Slumberger. I was wondering if I was going to hear that this morning after you said Slumberger. I was like, oh, Mitch is giving up the Slumberger comment.
I need me a
AMRS
burger,
moving higher.
It's holding this 53.25s, and I got no problem with that. I want to see kind of a little bit of a wick test that and then recover there. I can get in a little bit more.
How are the natty gas plays doing? Okay, we're holding up there. Let's take a look. Hoth backed off that high a day there. We'll check back in on Hoth. Check on natural gas here.
SPY pull back to 399.80s. We're going to look to see if it can hold. I'm looking around like 399.70 area. We wouldn't want to see it break there because then you'll start getting some pressure on the downside. But if it can hold this pullback, get back up towards 401, we'll have a nice little move there. Crowd strike right back down towards 114. Through that 113.78 will get me out if it closes down there. Needs to recover. It's not looking that good. See if the SPY can recover here, get back up towards 400. 400 is a spot where I could just see the bulls putting up a little bit of a fight. That's what I think we're seeing today. Let's see if we actually get the fight throughout the day. No worries, Crow. It happens. We talked about that earlier. All right. Plan the trade the plan. It happens to us all. And I know you're probably like me, Crow. You get probably mad when you miss. It's the one that affects me the most. Missing is the one that affects me, especially if I have a trade plan for that stock and I just don't take it. So just regroup, get back on it, man. You got this. There's a SPY now trying to get back towards the 400. I'm going to put this big because I think this is very important right now. We'll see if we could get back through the 400, back towards 401. You can see we pulled back right towards what? 399.70 to the key. Feeling a little in the zone today. We'll see if I snap out of it, but let's go. All right, now let's see if we get this move on the 15-minute through the resistance here towards that 401 and then 401.30s will really start getting us a little bit of a drive towards 403. That's what I'm looking for. Let's see if we can get that expansion move. I spy with my little eyes. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? All right, AMD. LI with the cut down. Want to note that. No, we were looking at that on swing trade, start swing trade, that all the EVs looked like they were cutting down except that one stock, LI. All right, AMD pulling back there. SPY's holding the 399.70s as of right now. That's when, if that breaks, I'd be a little bit more concerned for the downside action. We'll see if we get the next up move. This LI auto, we were talking about it on Start Swing Trading for a short. Why? Because all the other autos are looking pretty bad there in China. This doesn't look too bad as it starts breaking through the support right here around 24. So we'll look to see if this can come back a little bit. I have no problem shorting this, especially if it can get back towards 23.90s. And I could risk right off the highs here around 24.16 or 24.20s. LI Auto, we'll look to see if we get some downside action there in some China names. How's like Baba and PDD? Ooh, taking a big hit. Baidu had a big up move, and look at that. Flushed. Got to be careful with that. That could drag us a little bit, but those are China stocks. They don't look too strong today. That's for certain.
Interesting divergence here. Apple pounding the lows here. VIX dropping off too. So it'll be interesting to see if that holds up the entire day here. We shall see.
Apple's been weak here, man. I talked about this yesterday. The bulls let it drop back through that 150. That 150 is so vital for Apple. If anything, it looked like it was trying to go for a bullish breakout through 160 and has really rejected that back through the support. You do have this gap zone that you could fill and then find the bounce. So I wouldn't freak out unless we're breaking through kind of Wednesday's highs of 146.61. If I was kind of more bullish on Apple, you could just do this gap fill and then right back up, right? This is off the earnings. You could just fill the gap. So just keep that in mind.
DKNG, Sally mentioning that it fell off of a cliff here. One thing to look for on DKNG. So we do have that pop here that did create an island. Now, again, let's keep this in context. This is not an island pop to new highs. If we zoom out here, you can actually see where this price has been. But nonetheless, we are at an island. We are kind of back testing this. So let's see if it holds here. Maybe you'll end up getting a curl back towards that 2150.
I like this pan W move now. I might be adding to CrowdStrike here as we start getting a lift. Gonna look for it to lift right back through the VWAP and then take out the highs. Do a little dip here to 1420s. I'll even add there. Come on. I have that order out right now in the 20s. Trying to get some CrowdStrike here, Phil. How's our SPY doing? Ooh, AMD might stop me out, team. Remember, 94s was my entry. It's about to hit 77. Want to see 77 hold here, but if it breaks through 94, I'm going to stop out on that break even. Like always, I try to respect that break even once I've taken first profits because I can get back to the name. Now, what I can't do is lose profits. I hate losing profits, team. Try to avoid it at all costs. There's the SPY back down. It did cut through that 399.70, so that's a little bit of a sign of concern, team. We'll see what happens if we start flushing down.
ECX, that super thin halt, now has doubled from that, almost doubled from that. We have a huge stick here for 45,000 shares. If we take a look at the day, let's see how many shares this is actually traded on the day today. 74,000. So we are 3 times over our average, still not even at 100,000. ECX wild here. Trade it at your own risk. Be careful with these. These can be very, very, very dangerous. Huge.
All right. Added to that CrowdStrike there. That's that last ad for CrowdStrike. Wanted to hold 114 now and get back through 115. Just my CrowdStrike outlook. AMD still in it. Still in it, team. We'll see if we get a bounce here or not. SPY's coming down fast, though. Just be careful out there. You could see some flush down here. The big boys still getting hit. Microsoft, stocks like that. Microsoft pulling back strong there. It did have a nice little support underneath it that you're starting to cut through on Microsoft. Be careful, team. We're starting to get some leak. SPY coming fast to the downside. All right, got to keep this tight here in CrowdStrike. All right, might get stopped out in CrowdStrike there. It's already pulling back. The SPY's knocking it down. There goes the CrowdStrike trade and out the AMD trade there. That's just as quickly as you can get in and out of trades, right? Wasn't able to take the profits there on CrowdStrike. We did take a little bit of a loss there on that CrowdStrike. It's not a big loss there because I was still giving it really small share size because I was looking for a 116 move. So that was about $1.50 off the average. We'll see what happens there. It's about, what do we have? 40 cents? Yeah, about 40 cents lost there on CrowdStrike. We'll see if we get right back up.
Lunar opened and immediately halted. So Lunar going higher here. This one also really, really wild. This last move up, this was on 30,000 shares of volume. So we really kind of traded up about, what, 10 points here? Oh, maybe 6 points. 6 points on that 30,000 shares of volume. Lunar's second halt here today, right? This is the second one.
Mondelez alert in Mondelez. That just
Oreos. What about the Oreos, Mitch?
Oh, look at that chart. Look at this chart, Ryan. That looks pretty to me.
Sure
That's
does.
What we call a breakout above and then holding the throwback look right to the line, back to the upside. Oh, that looks gravy for me. This looks like it's going to get towards 168 on the resistance. Not a bad little stock if you guys are in the confectioner trade. I saw also Hershey's looking strong here. Look how that's getting a nice little lift. The Hershey's Company through the resistance of 240. Now look for that for pullbacks. I would like that. If you could pull back there towards 241, 242, risk off that 240. Doesn't look too bad there in Hershey's. And it could be kind of more of that value name. If you guys look to the right, my Canaro Brands is pushing. So that looks good. PG pushing there. That tells me also, and remember, we had the Kraft Heinz. Let's see if that pushes today. But keep your eyes on these value names and defensive names. I feel like you're starting to see a rotation into more value. And we'll find out if that's able to hold on the day. SPY coming down to 399.20s. And just how quickly you think you're getting that move back up in tech. Boom, right back down. That's how quickly it can be. Sold to Hershey, said Easy Mike.
That SPY bounce was sold too, by the way. Tested 400, immediately sold off.
Clorox with a nice little move up. Let's go to General Mills. That one paid me yesterday. Let's take a look. It's continuing the move today. Look at that. General Mills. What's up, man? This was the trade that we were trying to get yesterday completely. Yep. I took it all out at that 80-90 spot yesterday, and I was kind of happy when I saw it come back towards the support. But there you see it. It actually made that move and threw that move there on this General Mills. So get your cereals out, team. Looks like it's a good day. We'll look for a little, maybe a pullback in Kellogg's. This has already been ripping, but who knows? Maybe we can catch up to that one. All right, let's take a look out at the sectors and see what's leading. Of course, what is leading? Defensive stocks is leading here. Farm products doing really well. One of them that I was looking at, ADM, starting to get a little bit of a lift. I like this reversal off of the 81s here for ADM. I'm going to actually try to get this stock if I can come back through 82s, but it's pushing right now. So I don't want to chase it at 82.20s, but if it can come back below this 82s, come towards the VWAP, 81.86. Oh, I like ADM. I'll take a look at that one. Tyson Foods, nice takeoff. I know you guys have been talking about that. Yep. Maine Foods, maybe take a little push there. We'll take a look at some of these farm product stocks. Packaged foods also getting a lift. What you got, Ryan?
Ray Marks asking, hey, Mitch, what is the downward resistance for Tesla? So I think what you mean is the support, right? The downside resistance, we call that support. The next one that I have on my chart is going to be right here, right around 189.75. I guess you could call that 189.50 here. And then beneath that, you've got 180. So 185 and 180, or excuse me, 189 and 150 going to be your next spots here on the downside for Tesla. After that, I would say probably 166.
Yeah, I got that 190 to the key. So I'd look at that 190 spot as the next support spot. But really, rejection from 200 is vital. Today, we did reject from that 200 spot. If you can't reclaim 200 on Tesla, I'd be concerned as a bull. Why? Because you're starting to break the trend. That's really the truth. And then now it's starting to be like, okay, well, it's starting to really look heavy up here. And if you look at the RSI has been leading us to the downside, showing us that it could come right back down as it did get back up there. And we had a chance to get through 220s. Couldn't do it. Of course, this could just pull back here towards around maybe 180s and then find a bounce. But right now it's looking like 190s in the play. I actually would look for a little bit of a pop maybe on Tesla towards like 198s for shorts. We'll find out. SLB, I'm looking to see if it can recover this 53 here. Did get my ads. I'm at 53.37 here for the swing, but just got to keep things in perspective. Like always, keep the right risk to reward. That's what it's all about. Can't fall off the wagon. Once you fall off, you lose all probability.
LLAP curling here. Let's see if LLAP can get through 180 to the upside. I think if we can get through 180, maybe we can go ahead and test 3 and then 310. Going to need some volume, going to need to turn around here, but this is one of the things you can actually watch for a move later on in the day here, LLAP.
All right, some of those value names pulling back a little bit. We'll see what happens if we start getting the lift in those stocks.
Pro, Jay, you guys are seeing the same thing. I love it.
LLAP.
Love it.
LLAP. Can I say that? LLAP. Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, we are all watching it, Jay. Hey, we're stocking it for entry. What can I say?
Stock. What's the top there? What, 376? Yeah. 50% retracement, golden mean, somewhere between 250 and 275. That's where areas I like for pullback on that one. And I'm using a fib retracement for those levels. We'll look to see if this can come back up through the 295 and 3 level. La lap. La lap. Kellogg's pulling back there. Slum coming down fast here. Just got to keep focus on it. Right now, it's not in any danger to stop me out, but looking to see if it can recover and I can add to it above the 53s, looking for the push back towards 54s. Still like this on the daily, especially if we can recover 54 today. Just got to keep watch to see what happens. Oil names, how those are doing. You can see Gush started the day to the upside, now starting to come down. So just be careful there on some oil names that they pull back. We'll find out if they can get the lift right towards the upside. SPY overall still leaking here. So just be careful. We just broke through that 399, now towards 398.86, and we're getting hit there. The defensive names look interesting for me in this case. Like Canara Brands is still looking really nice. Nice little lift there to 36.79. We'll look to see on those names like General Mills. Can they pull back? Clorox, get the lift today. Colgate, Palmolive, all those types of stocks getting the lift. Defensive names seems to be a good play today. I know that not many of you guys trade them, but they look interesting. ADM, let's take a look. There you go. Nice little pullback on ADM. I'm going to be looking for that ADM to try to get a little piece here. All right, just cut through 82s. I'm going to take a first little piece right now, and then I'm going to look for a little bit of a further pullback towards 81.80s to add on it. All right, for Slum, got to keep a watch on that. All right, set the stop on that, so I don't got to worry no more. ADM pulling back here towards the 81.95s. All right, have some order to add some ADM, some Archer Daniel Midland.
Wow, look at the chart on Baidu. Look at this intraday chart.
Yeah,
better than expected.
I talked about it. Flushed.
Flushed is right. Better than expected Q4 EPS results. A $5 billion share repurchase. See you later. 150 to 137. This no bounce. No bounce is detected anywhere. We're actually lower than where we were yesterday prior to those earnings. Just any of that gain completely given back here. Just nasty, nasty stuff. Glad I don't trade this. And you know, it's funny about this. I still have the 9 EMA on. This is actually the opposite, right? It stayed below that 9 EMA with the exception of these two pops here. We've just ridden that all the way down. Monster move here on Baidu. Careful with these Chinese names, folks.
Entry on that Archer Daniel Midland. So got the add there towards the 80s. Can add again towards 81.68s. But there you go, 85s there.
Bitcoin
right near the VWAP.
Watch the Bitcoin plays.
Bitcoin, the coin. What about the coin? Right? It reported.
That coin is one of them.
Coin.
Let's actually look at coin.
What do you think about that chart? I'll let you talk about it, man.
Well, so first of all, this chart intraday here is pretty rough, right? Traded all the way up to like 67 and change, and now we're back down at 61. Let's take a look at the daily chart here and see what we can figure out. All right, so daily chart here, we're clearly up off of the lows. One thing that immediately jumps out to my eye here is that we are in a near-term downtrend, and we would love to see this get broken for any of the longs here. To me, looks like we're kind of going to have like a little bit of a triangle here. Let's go ahead and do one of these. Let's draw this, and then we'll take this and extend it down. Right there. Okay. So we are pretty much in this triangle here. Let's see where we end up breaking out of. My guess would be that we would break out of this to the upside, but it doesn't look like that's on deck here for today on coin. We'll see. And we'll see if we break down past this recent low here, about 54.25.
All right. Trying to get in one mentioned in the chat right now. Wix. Trying to get into Wix at 93. They did do an AI mention, super beat on EPS. And of course, this was with the AI mentioned, right? So we'll find out on that one, but trying to get a little bit of a pullback fill there for Wix. Have some leveled through the 93s on this pullback towards 92.65 if you get that pullback. But it looks interesting, the chart. Look at it on the 5-minute top left chart here. We'll look to see if that gets that nice little lift and starts to push through. The Wix AI mentioned. We'll see. Lunar open.
Strong earnings for Wix.
Yeah. And you know the AIs.
Looks like that wants to try looks like this wants to try 100.
Doesn't look too bad, that Wix.
So Lunar did take out that high. It's pulled back here. It looks like we're halted to the downside now on Lunar.
Yep. Talked about 91.50s on Wix for pullbacks today. It actually cracked towards 90.31s. We'll see what happens on that.
Judge saying Meta plans to lay off or plans to cut thousands of jobs after CEO predicted no more layoffs. Okay. How's that going? Interesting thing here is that the last time that we heard about job cuts actually caused the stock to trade up. Looks like that is not the case here today. And actually, here we go with another one of these islands here. This actually just completely broke down. To me, it looks like Facebook on its way back to 152 here. Oh, Meta, excuse me. Bookface, whatever you call it.
Bookface, I like it.
I mean, anything to make fun of Facebook.
But the verification check, man. I think Meta closes the gap. That was a gap that I wanted to attack.
I think it closes the gap too.
I need to do better on gap plays. I can tell you, team, I don't do the best on the gap plays, but I think they work out. You just have to be patient.
Brandon calls it face space. I like that too, actually. I like face space.
I don't even go on there anymore.
I deleted my account years ago. It was one of the best decisions I ever made.
No pullback for the Wix here. Up now towards 39, almost 94s. So that's looking good there. I'm going to cancel my orders right now just because they're just sitting out there. But interesting indeed.
Taking a look at SPY here, we are going to continue to move down. Let's see where we end up finishing on SPY. Like if we go back to my chart tool that we have here, let's go ahead and pull up SPY.
Ooh, Wix.
So here we go. First support level that we can expect on SPY, 396. We're currently at 398. So we're about 2 points above that support level. Let's see if we end up getting down there.
Look at that Wix, man. We'll see if it takes off there through 95. But hey, it is what it is. Sometimes you win one, sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. It was one that was on the radar, though. Definitely.
LLAP did break above that formation we were talking about, did break above that 280, currently at 282 here. So we have some time if this continues to push away. We'll watch it. I've got the VWAP here at 293.
Kind of like this one, man. I like it for the deep time frame.
Run to the washroom, Mitch. BRB.
No worries, my friend. Got this. Up one, down one, up two, down two. I think you get the up three here. I'm looking for a little bit later for LLAP. At least for me, I'm going to wait. I don't feel that now's the spot. I think it could still do a resistance test. Slumberger, what's up? You gonna bounce or what? Did you get back over 53, 54 today? If not, I'll be out. How's the oil game? Oil pulling back here. Not looking the best. SPY overall still on the leak here towards 397. Not looking good there. ADM now bouncing. We did get those pullback buys, so I'm going to look to see if that can get back up through the 82.25s. Really, this is kind of more of that swing trade off the 81s, so I can let this kind of work, right? And I got no problem with that, especially if it can close to 84 today. Oh, this will be looking like a nice little swing back to the upside on Archer Daniels. Tyson Foods was doing well too, but let's look to see if that does a gap fill. Of course, that got hit. It's a nice gap to fill on the upside there. Tyson Food. All right, catching up with you guys in the chat. What's up out there, team? The boil crow? Nah, man, I'm not touching that thing, man. You guys can boil out. I already boiled out on boil. I'm done.
Boil out. Interesting. LAP looking like it's trying to go here.
You know, it's like when you leave the pot on for too long with water and it just dries up. That's how I feel like in boil. I boiled all the water out the pot.
So
I don't
boil
have any
over.
more water for it. WBD having a strong day. That's interesting. Yeah, nice little VWAP bounce. Now something coming to go towards the 15.25s. Doesn't look too bad. What about the Para Dragon? The Para Dragon. We'll see what's happening on Para. Para's not looking too bad. Tesla, you coming back? What's up? Ooh, almost 190s already. Oh, who's smacking that Tesla Dragon to the short side today? Where's those dark side traders out there? Not only long traders in here. I know that much.
Tesla trying to bounce here. We'll see if it ends up catching.
I think it could get to 190s now that it's down there to 192s. But we'll see if we get a bounce in the market overall. That's what you're going to need to push back towards 399.50s. ADM starting to push now back towards the 82s. That looks good. We got 81.92 as the average on that. So we're not looking too bad, especially if we can start holding 82s and start pushing. Come on, Slum. You're going to stop me out. Keep going. 52.30s will get me out on Slumber J today. All right, let's go to the airlines. Airlines bouncing a little bit. UAL now starting to reclaim 48. I'm going to go to the SPY. I'm actually going to kick it to you for a second, Ryan. I'm going to actually set up a stream for later today. I want to get this set up right quick. I'll take 2 seconds, though.
All right. One of the things I was watching here is just AMRS. So we're just kind of flagging here. Didn't really give us a good move. We'll see if we end up getting one. Matt, you're looking for CVRX. Let's take a look and see what's going on here. CVRX. Saying Hoth is setting up again. Okay, we'll take a look at Haas next here. Okay, CVRX, nice here. Actually, nice off this volume pop too. What kind of volume is going on? I'm surprised my relative volume scanner didn't catch this. Why did you change this stock? Good shout here, Matt. Looks like a bounce play. And what happened in this name? What happened here? Yeah, just under. Okay, so this is under 1 million shares, which is why it didn't appear. Now it is on here as it continues to. Okay, so good spot. Maybe I need to lower that volume threshold to get more of these names a little bit earlier. That'd be something to look into. Anyway, what do we got here? What happened here? Oh, preliminary results that were no good. Did not meet the primary endpoint. That is why we gapped down here. CVRX. This is the risk that you run in biotechs. Looks like that gapped down here. Let's go back to the chart.
No bueno.
No bueno is right. This was yesterday, right? So huge move down here yesterday. Looks like we're trying to bounce here today. We did take out this high. This was at one of the spots we tried to bounce yesterday. Didn't really do anything. We'll see if we end up getting back up here to 9. I'd be careful with this one, Matt. I'd be real careful. I'd be real careful for this. How do you get a volume scanner? Grateful to God. Well, our scanner here in Benzinga Pro allows for both. You can scan for raw volume. You can scan for relative volume. And in fact, if you take a look at the price and volume, you've got a number of different things. You can scan for average volume. You can scan for yesterday's volume. We have a couple of different RVOLs with different look back periods and symbols. So really depends on what you're looking for, as well as daily RVOL. So really depends on what you're looking for. Benzinga's got a great one. This is the crux of what I use every single day. Said we're also going to take a look at Hoth. Let's do that. That's not on my list anymore. Here goes Buddy. Why doesn't this? I don't understand why this is not working. Okay, Hoth is. Oh, I see what you mean by broken to the downside, right? We were unable to curl and bounce here.
SPY climbing back here.
Trying to hold in there. Here, I'm going to put your charts up real quick.
Kellogg's looks interesting for a pullback buy towards 69. So I'm going to look to see if Kellogg's can come back towards 69. 68.80s would be the risk there. And look to see if Canara brands can continue slum bouncing a little bit. LLAP did that little fake out to the upside on 285. I'm going to look for a fake out to the downside through 252. And then I'm going to actually look for it to start coming back up through that 252. And then I can start sizing into that for a 3 move. Risk would be down towards 235. I'm going to do like maybe a small risk, 15-cent risk, looking for the pop back on this one. Of course, it would have to be like 5-1 on the plus side, right? So even if it gets back to 350, that's a whole $1 there. So that's going to be better than 5-1. We'll see what happens there, LLAP. All right. Go traders out there.
Still looking for new opportunities off the scanner here. Don't see a whole lot. I guess BCRX, if we can break this, 955 BCRX might have a pop here. Let's see what the level 2 looks like. BCRX. No, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot here. Volume kind of muted on BCRX. That'd be something. If we end up getting some volume in here, I think that this could really take off. See if we end up getting that. Volume a little light here. SPY crossing that 399 on its way back to 400. We'll see if we end up getting SPY up to 400. Some flow in here. Rig puts, Mara puts, those are cheapies though. Bitcoin's bouncing a little bit here. More rig puts.
All right, team. And definitely you guys want to keep up with all the swing trade talk that I talk about. I want you guys to come on over to, of course, start swing trading. We got over 480 of you guys. I know probably about 400 of you guys like swing trading. So definitely make it out there, team. Today, we're going to have another trader join us. As like always, I'm looking for swing traders out there that have some ideas. Today, we'll have Leah the Trader. Of course, you guys might be following her. So check it out, team. She's super excited. It's actually joining us from Cape Town, Africa. What? Yes, not looking too bad. She took a trip with some cobras in Africa, like the cobras. I was like,
okay. Well, I'm glad you specified the car, because at first I was like, nope.
No, but the car, you know, you're about that. Nice little convertible, just rolling down through the ocean side. Oh, gorgeous. We'll see what happens when we get that. Kellogg's already bounced there. It didn't get to 69 specifically, got to 69.06. I might have been being a little bit too picky there. That happens. We'll see what LLAP does on this pullback.
Mitch, Cape Town is South Africa, by the way.
South Africa.
CVRX continuing its bounce. I expect this to run into some resistance here at 10. Again, still just be careful on this name on this.
Russ, love to hear it, man. I don't know what I'd do without this, you guys, and this show. Well, I'll tell you what, since we're absolutely free, you guys smash the like button. That's what we're here for, team.
That's how you can support us.
Quantum said, I heard of snakes on a plane, but cobras in a car.
Hey, that Snakes on a Plane movie. That was done for the memes, I feel like. Done for the memes.
It actually wasn't that bad of a movie. I don't know if you guys watched Snakes on the Plane. I actually didn't think it was that bad of a movie.
When you say it wasn't that bad, do you mean that you laughed throughout the movie? You enjoyed it?
Yeah, like I kind of laughed a little bit, you know.
I don't know if I consider it a good movie.
It wasn't that bad. For the crappy title, right? I mean, Snakes on a Plane. I'll tell you one thing though. They better land that plane. I would have been freaking the hell out, man. I would have rather landed it in water than be with all those snakes.
I would have rather landed it in water. Somebody call Sully.
I'm telling you, man. I'm just not a fan, man. Not a fan of snakes. I'll tell you right now. I can deal with a lot of animals. I can deal with a gator more than I can deal with a freaking snake. Some people like snakes. Not for me. You got up there on ADM through the high for a second. Just went right through that 82.17 to 82.32s, pulling back a little bit. Let's see if the 82s hold. SPY went back up, but then quickly right back down. So we could see some continued downside action. That's why I'm looking still more at these defensive names. But I still haven't gotten that full pullback there in Kellogg's. Doesn't look too bad, though. That stock's been really strong as of late. Nice little about 50% pullback of yesterday's move. I could just get closer towards 69. I'm more than willing to take a shot there on Kellogg's.
SPY looking to challenge the intraday low. Sorry, Mitch, didn't mean to run you over.
You're good. Stopped out in that SLB swing trade team, so not happy about that one. But hey, that's how it goes sometimes, team. I'm going to let you know. Got stopped out there. The Slum Burger gave me the burger today.
Let's see if SPY breaks these 398 lows. 397.91, your low print. That is on deck here. Volume picking up on this move down. Let's see if we bounce or if we continue to sell off.
That SPY made a hard downside action move there.
Yep.
AMD's actually been cutting up. NVIDIA's just been getting hit there. Back through the 205s. Tesla, when we get the 190s. Microsoft down to 251, man. That AI trade is broken right now, at least, seems like. AI trying to hold on right now. As a matter of fact, it did a little bit of another bull trap to the upside. Man, you got to be careful with that AI. So many people want it to come back up. Look at that bull trap to the upside at the gates. That's a tough one. I'll tell you right now, that's a tough one to deal with. What doesn't look too bad is my Johnson & Johnson swing. I'll show you guys that. I've been taking this one since yesterday, looking for it to kind of really recover 159. Look at it on the 4-hour attempt, right? So like I'm close towards 158.85, like that 159. I've been risking off kind of this 158. This is more kind of a daily level reversal look. Really, if it closes to 160 by the end of the day, I'm going to be looking really nice there in Johnson & Johnson. Just got to keep pushing back. I'll take a look at some of these healthcare names to see if they're doing good on the day, but just keep watch out there, team. Let's go to healthcare. Healthcare still getting hit, but the major names are not doing too bad. Johnson & Johnson, Lilly. I talked about Eli Lilly yesterday around the 328s. Merck getting a nice little uplift there. PFE starting to hold up. That can start getting to the upside. Bristol Myers, a nice little push to the upside there. Just keeping an eye out on some of these names. Utilities, slight tweak into the green there. What's getting hit? Energy and technology, as a matter of fact. I definitely got hit there in that Slumber J, and a lot of oil names down today. Hopium success. Look at the success. Ooh, nice little push there on to the 24s. Not looking too bad there. Let's go back to the 6 charts there, team.
Jay was on that early too. Jay was on that SOXS early.
I like it. I like it. Got a battle, team. And talk to each other right out there, right? There's no reason why you guys can't put out your trade plans. The thing that we ask about is things like, okay, why are you getting into it? What's the risk? Of course, you don't have to put your whole trade plan in the chat. But what we want is more along others to take a look. How's that trade plan outlook look so that maybe they can learn from the trade, not necessarily copy like always. That's not what we're here for, team. There's other platforms out there that can let you copycat trade all you want. Right here is not what it's about. It's about process approach. Learn from others. Maybe you might find somebody that trades very similar to you, and that helps because we start to understand a little bit more about our own trading because someone has personality and similar traits that we'd have. Find traders that trade like you is so important. It really can help you really hone in on your skills that really give you that kind of lift. Like I can say a trader that trades similar to me would be like kind of Christian Fromhertz. Of course, I would say he's better than me, but I would also say that I trade similar to him. You got to know traders that trade similar to you and kind of use that to your abilities, right? It's not like I'm trading what he wants. No, I'm just more along. We're looking at the similar areas. We're looking for similar strength. Like he pointed out Hershey's yesterday, I could see Mondelez getting strong, right? You guys heard me call out Mondelez. This is actually pulling back right now. It actually looks interesting here on Mondelez. I'm going to take a look here.
So speaking of that, Mitch, this is actually a pretty good segue. On Thursday after hours, so I think it's going to be at 6 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern time, I'm doing a webinar with one of the traders that trades very much like me. Story-based swing investing predominantly, but also day trading when that's required. I encourage all of you to join. Go ahead and post the link to the registration in the chat. It's basically a webinar. It is 100% free. We're going to discuss the 2023 market. We're going to discuss different sectors, different stocks that we like, things of that nature. I try to do this every year with this gentleman. Again, he's been a market veteran for a long time, been around for a long time. I've got a lot of the different trades that I've made kind of from what he's taught me. So I would encourage all of you to join and check it out. There will also be a replay in case you can't make it live. So simply registering will get you signed up for that replay.
All right, team. I did get us started there in Kellogg's at the low there. Got the 68.84. So we're going to look to see if this can start coming back up through the 69s. Remember, I was looking for 69 on that pullback. We'll see what happens now. And definitely click that link, team. Get to that webinar. At least register for it.
It's going to be cool. It's going to be fun. I have fun with him every time that we do this. So.
And Raul with a nice little mention here. I like to trade like Zunaid. I miss him. I think we all do. We all do, Raul. He'll be back. All right, Kellogg's trying to come back here. I want to see if it can get back to 69 before I keep adding to the name. I just get a little starter there, but I don't want to see it just break down through kind of the lower support, which is around the 68, 69. So giving it the chance if it's going to cut through there and then come back. But watching Kellogg's, now I could really get my Frosted Flakes if this could hold. And the reason I'm looking at this too is not only just kind of like support line there, right? Just looking at it in kind of more of the 50% retracement of yesterday's action puts us right at 68.80s. Look to see if we get back up there. Kellogg's, come back to 69. We'll see what happens. Amazon curling on the 5-minute to the upside. Yeah, it's trying. Doesn't look too bad. It's back there towards VWAP. That's been weak for a while, though. We'll look to see if it comes back here. Didn't make its move up there. It looks like 97. We'll see what happens. Amazon's just been kind of sideways on the chart. SPY overall towards 398.09. We just kind of went down there. We broke through the low, trying to recover it right now on the 5-minute, but it could just keep leaking down on the day. Getting a little bit more of a leak than we expected. Remember, 398 was kind of that south side look for continuation to the downside. We could keep leaking here. Tesla looking weak there. We'll see if that bounces. All right, ADM pulling back here. Might be able to get another ad on ADM as it pulls back here. We'll see what happens.
Around here, yeah, Lunar popping through 60. You guys have been all over this. I'll be honest, the Lunar and ECX, the two really big plays here, definitely feel dangerous. Lunar, we really haven't seen a pullback. We saw this little bit of a yank here, but really hasn't been so bad. ECX just disappeared off my scanner. Let's take a look at ECX. ECX looks like this might be losing some steam here. Pull back towards the VWAP. Yep, right to it. We'll see if we end up holding here and going. ECX and Lunar, two strong stocks here today, both kind of thin, both difficult to trade. So just be careful if you take these. Morning, Voodoo. How you doing? Yeah, Al, Lunar, definitely Looney Tunes. I like that.
Still keeping an eye on that LLAP for us, team. We'll see what happens. I'm still looking for a little bit of a pullback to the 252 first, but it could always make that little spring up through the 275. The last resistance that I can see that's important for me to look for that breakthrough is the 288. 288 is that LLAP look here. I'll put a big screen here. So using the fib retracements, we're looking to see maybe like a little bit of a tweak down towards the 250 and then right back up through here. But this is the important level that I would be looking at now, at least for recovering. Once the next time you recover that 288, that's where I'd be expecting to see that pop to 3. So I'm just keeping an eye out on this one. I'm going to put it on the radar out there. We'll see what happens there in LLAP.
And Pan W here, one of our earnings winners from today. We've kind of drifted back down to the VWAP, but watch this for maybe another run here in the afternoon, right? Especially if we trade along this VWAP, you can see we're trying to bounce and stay above it. Might actually be able to make it back up towards this 187.50, maybe even a little bit higher, maybe even 188. So let's see if Pan W can get going here.
Yeah, with that crowd strike, I think I just approached it even in too big of a sizing there, because it actually is coming back here. We'll look to see if it actually makes a move, but CrowdStrike really holding that kind of 114 area.
Apple and Tesla both look like they've kind of found an intraday bottom here. So let's see if we can get any bounces in those. That should actually help the overall market too.
Just trying to get back above the 398 level. All right, what's going on out there, team? Going to wait around for 1 p.m. just after lunch. Don't forget, we got the Fed minutes today, right? Released at 2 p.m. Going to get that printout. Don't expect too much to change from that, but
me either.
Fighting to try to get back above 398, but really kind of slow there, right, on the SPY.
Yeah, it does not have the bounce power that you'd like to see here, and yeah. To me, it almost looks like we might even roll over here and re-hit some of those lows.
Logged now down to that 68, 69 for the next layer of support. It's actually towards 60 here. Going to look to see if it starts coming back up through the 68.75, and then I can use these lows as my risk on the intraday. SPY getting a little bit of a bounce back here now towards 398.27s. We'll look to see what happens if we can get that lift back there towards the VWAP. It's around 1043. Just want to mention that. We'll be wrapping up pretty soon, team.
SPY trying. Okay, so it's broke out of that formation. Let's see if SPY can actually get going here. Or don't see anything new in terms of trading opportunities. ECX breaking down beneath its VWAP now. ENVX So here, this is pretty interesting. ENVX crossing through its VWAP, actually back testing that VWAP and trying to push away from it now. So ENVX, let's take a look and see what the level 2 looks like. Looks pretty thin, looks pretty good on the way up here. Say the next spot here going to be 830. A pop above 830, we probably go higher here. 850 might be on deck here today. It would be great to get entry a little bit closer to VWAP if this pulls here and holds around it. We'll see. Might just kind of take off from where it's at now. We'll see. Mondelez CEO on CNBC saying no plans to reduce the size of Malomars or other cookies. So it looks like they're not going to try to reduce the actual size of the product in order to combat the prices. No, definitely no time for a nap, Easy Mike. Gonna have to push through it. Really need to get full nights of sleep at night. Napping not great during the week. Oh, good old box tea. This is down here.
I love naps, but
I mean, I love nap too. Believe me, but it just it saps my productivity. I am not able to accomplish as many things in a day when I take a nap. I think he caught me yawning, which is why he said that.
All right, we'll see what's going on, team. Kellogg's trying to recover a little bit. SPY back towards 398.60.
Off breaking down here.
Oxas pulling back. Canara back at VWAP. Just looking around to see how the trades are working. Got to keep working it, right, team? That's what it's all about. Work it. Work it. I want to add to the Kellogg's, but there we go. Now working back towards the 70s on Kellogg's.
So here's what I see on SPY. This intraday trend is what we really need to get over for higher. Let's see. Come on. We're going to break that or are we going to break down here? Let's see. Let's see if SPY breaks down here. We'll check back in on it. LLAP, let's see it again. 280 seems to be that spot. 293. Some is the VWAP. No, love it. 15 minutes on the couch with Mahjong or Words with Friends and Benzinga in the background is better than that. Absolutely love that. I'm a huge proponent of keeping your mind active throughout the course of the day, especially on days where you don't feel great. Words with Friends is actually an excellent way of doing that. I'm a huge Scrabble fan, so I loved Words with Friends. I like Wordle. I actually like playing Wordle in the morning. I feel like it, kind of forces me to sharpen up. Even when I'm, maybe a little bit tired. So big fan of this suggestion here. I'm a big fan of this suggestion. You don't actually need to sleep. Knee source, a little bit of a pop here. Not really an actionable signal though. Kupang, move through a VWAP here, but that's about it. Yeah, don't see a lot. Don't see a lot here. Might start wrapping up here, Mitch, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, not a worry at all, man. I'm going to wrap up too, man. Not a worry. You know how it is. It's starting to get a little bit slow. We'll see what happens. I am trying to get some ads in that Kellogg's. Just got one ad there. 68.74 is going to keep battling in Kellogg's. Canara, ITW, Johnson & Johnson, ADM. We'll look to see if we can keep battling. SPY trying to come back. Really a good level to look to see if you could reclaim for at least bulls out there is 399. You reclaim 399, then you look for 400. Stick to those whole spots to see if we can start coming back. 403 is really upside where you could really push. We couldn't get through that 40, like kind of 60 area, 40, 50 area, 450 area. We'll look to see if we get back up there, team, for the bulls out there. All right, Success pulling back. That's going to do it for me. We'll see what else is going on. And Beach Bum, trust me, we'll get you to it. I know that I got you on nap time for Swing Trading Show, but hey, that's how it is. That's how it is, my friend. Trust me. I need that 2 p.m. coffee to make it through that show. So
you could do worse than taking a quick nap on the beach, though, honestly.
Yeah, you could do worse, right? Like, put it that way. All right, you guys have a great one. Keep battling in there. Appreciate you just joining up. Got a new member here, Ahmed, so I appreciate you joining. Like always, hit the like button. We always got a lot more for you here on Benzinga. And let me just check here really quickly. Do we got Benzinga live today? I don't know if AB's joining today. It's always a mystery, so let me find out really quickly. No mentions of it today. I don't think we'll have a show. We'll find out. All right, team. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. Looks like no Benzinga live again. Sure, AB will be back soon enough, team. We'll keep battling. Hit the like button. I hope you guys appreciate it. And like always, giving us the feedback out there. We'll keep battling in this market. Let's see what happens. It's always not just one way, right, team? There's always multiple ways to get to that success. You just got to find your way. I'll see you next time. Hit the like on your way out. And don't forget us a little later today. Start Swing Trading, our new show, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. We'll see what trades I'm able to find up. All right, see you next time, team. Hit the like on your way out.